So we need to find the total area of this curve on the range, on the domain -6 to 4. So I graphed it. We don't have to graph it. And the reason I'm making this video is because I couldn't find one in YouTube that did exactly this on it. They talked about evaluating definite integrals, and that's all the same. But this is a special case where we want to find the total area. So what I'm trying to do is here, let me, let's see. So I know down below the x-axis, this is all negative area, right? And that's negative area over here. All right, sorry, I'm going a little bit color and a little bit outside the lines. But we know on top that's a positive area, right? And if I just use my calculator without anything special, I'm going to get a negative answer because that red area is a lot bigger than that green area, right? Because they're asking me the total area, this is what we got to do. So let me clear this off. Let's come back and I'll show you how to do it incorrectly. Then I'll show you how to do it correctly. Okay, so I'm going to quit this screen. And the way you get the calculator, do Fnint or evaluate a derivative or evaluate an integral. You see number 9. Now, if you have what the Inspire, those kind of calculators, I don't know how those work. I've never used one. This works for the 83 and for the 84. The 83 looks different, but it's the same math, same setup. So I'm going to do 9. And then what's nice about this does it in integral notation. And if I go from -6 up to 4, because that's what they want me to find the area of, and I could type in the equation here, but because since I've already got it typed in y1, I'm going to do vars, arrow to y vars, do 1, because I want the function that I have in y1. And then, of course, then you'd say dx. And that'll calculate it. And as you see, there's a negative area. And we know we want total area. So see, that took all those red areas and subtracted from the green area, and that's why it's negative. But we want total area. We want to make all those negative areas positive. And to do that by hand is pretty involved. Let's see. Can I find this without, let me pause this video for a minute. So you see what you have to do by hand is I had to, I broke up the integral to 3 sections, right? One, and I may change the sign by making it negative. That is a positive area, so I didn't have to change the sign there. And then same thing there. I had to make that negative to change the sign. Then I just evaluated all these integrals by hand, and then I got an answer. Then I wanted to see if I did it right. So here's what I did to see if I did it right. So first off, see how I wrote down below here? It's the integral from -4 to 6. And then I put absolute value signs around the function. So what that's going to do, it's going to take all those negative areas, make them positive. And then when it evaluates it, it'll come up with the correct answer. So to do that with your graphing calculator, I've already got this typed in. So what I'm going to do is come back inside the argument. So for the integrand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do math, arrow over to number, and grab the absolute value symbols. And then I got to dump that y1 in there again. So vars, I punched vars, arrowed over to y vars, and I want a function, and it's in function 1. So now what it'll do, it'll calculate it, and there you go. And notice that's what I got when I calculated this by hand and did when I did all of this work. That was a lot of work. It took a long time to do it, probably 15 minutes. Where look how easy it is with that. So if they aren't asking you to do a exact value, it seems like its calculator's okay. This is perfectly fine. I'm just out of curiosity, I'm noticing that this is doing some weird rounding, and that's because of it's going from base 10 to binary and back. I'm wondering if the calculator will let us convert that to a fraction. No, I don't think so. It's a little bit off. So if they're looking for an exact value, you're stuck doing it by hand. However, you can use your calculator to make sure you use this Fnint feature to make sure you're making some progress along the right path, because you can break it out and make sure you get each of those individual areas correct. Then you can add it up rather than doing the whole process and finding out you're wrong. Okay, and I know there's other calculators online. I just don't know any of them. A Symbol Lab probably does it. Probably Desmos does it, but I've never explored that because I got the graphing calculator tool. All right, so hopefully that helps.